All right, folks, welcome back to another fantastic edition of Opali Presents Know Your Pros. And today's guest, we have Megan Davidson of Megan D Consulting. She is an Instagram strategist and coach here in Ventura County. She offers her Instagram Pro Bootcamp and takes her clients from confused to confident on that platform we all love so well. That's Instagram. She is your strategist to talk to if you're looking to develop something for that business to take it to the next level. Megan, it is a thrill to have you here on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. Really happy to be here.
Megan, I'm psyched to talk to you just because, in the few conversations that we've had before shooting this thing, we've talked a lot about what it means to be a social media strategist in today's landscape and how some people offer really hands-on stuff, or some people offer fractional CMO services, or hey, I'll post on your Instagram once weekly for your business. But that's not really what you're about. You're about giving business owners the tools to take their company to the next level and empowering folks to take Instagram into their hands and turn it into something more for their business. So my question to you is, why was it that you decided to start your own thing here? And why in the consulting game? What started that?
Yeah, so I started my business the beginning of COVID. I saw a real need for business owners to really move their marketing online and show up where people are already spending their time. So I started with consulting. That's what I did primarily. And then I moved into the course model. So now I teach people in the Instagram Pro Bootcamp how to build a strategy on Instagram and get clients from it. I found this to be a lot better than something like managing their accounts, because I find that business owners like being hands-on in their own business and like having creative control. They just might not have the confidence yet to do it, or even the means necessary to do it themselves.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely the truth. A lot of business owners subscribe to the idea that, no content is better than even some content executed poorly. And then when we get beyond the some executed poorly into the sort of thought about stuff, often they just feel totally out of their depth, right? Whether it's not embedding a link in an Instagram story, or, creating a cohesive kind of theme to the content they put out, or even making content that's helpful and that's not necessarily salesy of their services. So in that consulting game and the strategy world of Instagram, why specifically focus on giving people the tools? You said that people like to have it into their hands, but I'm curious, why not do that yourself? Why give people the opportunity to?
I find it I don't really know exactly what they do for their business, right? They are the expert in what they do. I'm the expert in what I do. So if I went in and tried to manage everything about their account, it wouldn't seem as authentic as if they did it. So I think giving them the tools necessary and the strategy necessary to do it the right way, right? Like you mentioned, some people struggle with, do I put anything up at all, even if it's not correct? That usually holds people back from even starting if they don't know if they're going to get any return on the time they're putting on Instagram. So I really focus on taking away that confusion and giving them a plan to follow that they know will work.
Mm-hmm. And I want to throw a little curveball bonus question to you here. You talked about, casing out businesses and fits for your business model before you even allow for them to join your fold here. What do you find to be the biggest hurdle that people have to jump over before they're maybe ready to take this into their own hands?
Yeah, so like I was mentioning to you before, I meet with every client one-on-one before they do enter my course to make sure they're a good fit. I really want to make sure that each business knows exactly who their ideal client is and what they're doing really works, and they have confidence in that. I'm just helping them really showcase that expertise online. I'm always helping clients who feel like they're the hidden expert. I want to really get them on Instagram and show off their stuff so that way they can get new quality clients and customers.
I think that's so important too, that you mentioned that, where you meet with folks and really help them nail down who their ideal customer profile is and who exactly it is they're talking to. Because, you maybe wouldn't be surprised. I'm not very surprised by it, but folks who might be watching this, they would be just like completely floored by the amount of people who run businesses who don't know exactly who they're talking to beyond maybe something that's very broad and not very hyper focused. And I think that's really killer to nail down and get, people thinking that way before they're ready to join you. So that's great. You have as offerings on your website, I'm looking at them right now, like your Instagram daily engagement checklist, your 40 content ideas for business owners, all like very incredibly helpful tools that business owners can use to take their company to the next level. That's like one of the things I see as why you're different. But if you could kind of quantify that for our viewers here, what is that?
Yeah, so I'm definitely different from other people who offer similar services because it's not just a one size fits all strategy that I'm going to be applying to your business. Um, every business is different, so every strategy has to be different. What might work for you might not work for someone else who does something similar, which can be surprising. But I really tailor it to what your specific goals are and what your workflow looks like. So if your goal is to just, create a community to engage with on Instagram and build authority on the platform, then it's a different, route to take on Instagram than if you want to get more clients. So I think focusing on your goal first and then creating the strategy from that is what really helps you actually be successful on Instagram. So I really take you through deciding what's the best plan of action for you and then help you practice and build the confidence to actually follow through instead of just coming up with a plan and never actually doing it.
Right. And I think that, watching some of your content, versus watching, content of other business owners or other, Instagram types, and I don't want to lump you in with those folks. You're a consultant and a strategist here, but all of your content is exceedingly helpful. Do you find that help business owners with specifically stuff like that, that is helpful to their viewership?
Yeah, I definitely prioritize educational content. I do want to make sure I'm giving as many tips and tricks and advice as I can out there to help as many people as I can. That's my ultimate goal is helping as many business owners as I can succeed online. I also find that when you post educational content, that really builds trust with your community. So if you are looking to do that on Instagram, then educational content is a great way to do that. So I usually get great feedback from that type of content. And so it's like a win-win.
Yeah, well, I think it's so important what you brought up there, like the concept of trust in the content that you create. We at Opali, we're in the trust game, right? Like we help folks tell a great story about their business by way of their clients, leaving reviews. Trust is one of the first things that you have to focus on if you're going to turn a customer who's maybe shopping into a customer that's buying. Because after all, like educational content, helpful stuff first, like we were just talking about, leads to engagement, which leads to purchase, which is the forefront of what you do at Megan D Consulting, which is fantastic. I've taken your webinars and I find them to be exceedingly helpful. So tell the folks out there watching, Megan, when they can engage with you next, where they can find you, and where you like to be contacted most.
Yeah, my primary platform I like reaching out to people on is Instagram. So that's at Megan D Consulting. I also recently started a YouTube channel with new videos coming out every Tuesday. So that's also at Megan D Consulting. And then a great way to reach me could be also through my website, which is www.megandconsulting.com.
Beautiful. And folks, remember, she is based here in Ventura County. She services businesses across the country, though. California love, but no boundaries on the products and strategy content that she services to folks. She can be found, of course, as well in the description of this video. We're going to put all of her links down below so that you can engage with Megan if you're looking to take your business to that next level. But before we wrap up, Megan, we're out of time here. I mean, like, I have been so captivated by some of the stuff that you're putting out. If you're not already following her on YouTube, and Instagram, folks, I would highly suggest it. She's got some great stuff, and her website is looking better than ever. Megan, again, thank you so much for joining us here today on Know Your Pros.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun.
Know Your Pros!